Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It is your old pal, Vandy Pants, back with more classic Tetris monthly Masters event for October 2025. 32 players battling in this monthly test of NES Tetris supremacy. And we have got a round one and round two bracket for you today. Preliminary bracket. The Teal bracket. Where is that? Teal? Is that what it is? Yeah. It's going to be Doodle versus Somalian in round one. And the winner will take on former Masters event winner SV Nestris. The winner of this eventually will play Dan V in the round of 16. Dan V getting into that 2-bye territory, the top 8 of the qualifiers. So, well, I don't know. We'll find out. It's going to be an American versus a British person in the top 16, or a British person against another British person, which, my God, civil war. Going to break out. Oh, my. Well, we'll see what happens. Anyway, Doodle versus Somalian, winner versus SV. Eventually be taking on Dan V at some point. Let's take a look at our rules. Yeah, we got rules, guys. Rules. The rules are that this is a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris, released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanics and statistics are unmodified. They can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronic or mechanical, biological turbo only. Level 18 starts all the way through level 39. Super kill screen score uncapped. Best of 5. That means first of 3 is the winner of the match. Same piece sets will be re-rolled in between each game of the match. Players do not receive any in-game advice, right? If you're playing, nobody's telling you how to play, telling you about your opponent's board state or anything like that. One mind per game. And do not pause unless the commentator tells you, particularly if you experience tech issues like, I don't know, OBS starts slowing down, internet goes out, or your computer starts churning and chugging or whatever. Just keep playing. Assume that your score will count. Do not pause and ask for further instructions. I will just give you further instructions and you can keep playing. Okay, good? Yes? Excellent. And the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in a prize pool, which stands right now at $1,178.75. Right now, we're paying our top 4. We would love to pay our top 8. We've been hitting our incentives consistently for, I don't know, like 2 years. But I don't want to stop now. Want to pay the top 8 instead of paying the top 4. If you pay the top 8, then that's very incentivizing to players come in and say, all right, yeah, I'll play. Maybe I won't win this month, but I got a chance at getting a little bit of a score here. So, yeah, I will play. So, yeah, please do contribute to the prize pool. Our prize pools are funded 100% by you, the fans, all right? Or maybe you're not a fan, or you're a viewer. Doesn't matter. Whatever you are. Contribute to the prize pool. You can do that. How? Use the Matcherino command while you're watching live on Twitch or on YouTube. That will bring up some links. The first one, the one that says Masters event or Masters or whatever, that is the one. Click on that to be taken to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. And once you're over there, the top right-hand corner has a button that says log in, and guess where you log in? That's where. Click on that, and then you can log in with your existing Twitch or YouTube account or your Discord account or any number of other accounts. You don't have to make a separate account for Matcherino. And once you're in, right side says contribute. Use that button to contribute any amount, 1, 2, 5, 10, or maybe even $821.25. That would be a good amount to contribute to get us to our $2,000 incentive. Thanks to everybody who has contributed so far. Big contributions from Scott. Really appreciate that. We've also had contributions from other people, such as Cat My Dogs. Thank you for that. Tom J, Sailor Ginseng VSA, and Whoops, and Madelsberger, and Arbarro, in addition to that big Scott Gray. So thank you all so much. Really appreciate that. Okay, is that enough? No, it's not, because you guys need to support the channel. Just gonna come out and say it. You need to do it. No more free ride, no more freeloaders here. You got to support the channel. If you want to do that, a lot of different ways, one of which is patreon.com/monthlytetris, where you can make an ongoing pledge of support to keep this channel going. This channel didn't exist, these tournaments wouldn't exist. And, you know, and if we didn't have a lot of support, then we'd have to go back to 16-player Masters. Can you imagine? Or maybe cutting DAS Masters. Can you imagine if we had to cut DAS Masters or go back to 16-player Masters? What the heck? Ravioli becomes a member over on YouTube, says, hello, Vandy. I'm in the car using hotspot to watch. Thank you so much. Well, N-Dog has come into the chat and said if we get to 1,200 in the prize pool, it'll kick in $100. So we got $21.25 to go. If we get there, N-Dog, with that 100 extra dollars. So that is going to be our goal. And Paldas Tetris, thanks for the raid party of 10. Anyway, keep this channel going. We need to basically, honestly, we need to make just about as much for the channel as we do in the prize pool to really make sure that we can continue operations here at Classic Tetris Monthly. Just to give you a sense of what we are up against. All right. If you want to support us, there are other ways. I'll use the support command right here. If you don't want to make an ongoing pledge via Patreon, you can do it on PayPal, where you can make a recurring payment over there as well. If you're watching on YouTube, you've got super chat, super chickers, super stickers, super thanks, super whatever, channel memberships, gift channel memberships. That's a thing. Twitch, you got bits, subs, gift subs, Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime Gaming subs. Help us out wherever you can, however much you can. Give till it hurts. All right, don't give till it hurts, but figure out where it would hurt and then back off just a little bit. That's good. Give till it almost hurts. All right, is that enough? Good. All right, we got wide Somalian here. Let me fix Somalian's camera. And we will get going. I thought I locked all this stuff down. Oh, I gotta lock that down. Somalian wide edition. I kind of like Somalian wide. What do you think? That's like wide Somalian, best Somalian, really. All right, there we go. Regular Somalian is good enough. All right, players, I am going to go ahead and drop the pieces in the chat. 95A44E, those are the players. Don't you anyway, Paldas. Oh, well, thank you so much, Paldas. Really appreciate it. Thank you, 10 viewers. You're already wide IRL. Oh, you're lifting, bro. You're on that creatine. Somalian. Colin worked very hard to do that. What's up, Boroff? Welcome. (95A44E). Chen, I've seen it a few times. You've typed it. I've seen it. I've got it. I've spent my last dollar on Dr. Pepper. I'd love to support the stream, so would you like some Diet Dr. Pepper? I'm more of a zero guy than a diet guy. I like all the zeros. N-Dog with the $100 contribution on YouTube. Is that a sticker? What is that over on YouTube? N-Dog, thank you for the $100 going to the channel. That is very, very sweet. You have no idea how much that kind of stuff matters because, my word, we are really trying to survive here. I would love to spend all my time on Classic Tetris Monthly. Unfortunately, I gotta start door dashing to be able to have the flexibility to continue to do CTM. So thank you so much, N-Dog. That really helps. It's gonna save me like 6 hours of DoorDash. My word. Thank you, N-Dog. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let us get them going. Doodle versus Somalian, round one. In 3, 2, 1 Tetris. I also want to mention that N-Dog has made a pledge that if we get to $1,200, he's going to kick in another $100 over and above that. So we just need $21.25. We need to get to $1,200. So $11.25 will get us $100. That is a great ROI. Where else can you invest invest $11.25 and get back 100, right? So that's pretty good. Thank you, N-Dog, for that contribution on YouTube. I don't know if it's super sticker, super thanks, or super whatever it was, but I really do appreciate that. $45,000 for Doodle, $46,000 for Somalian. Consider not mentioning DoorDash unless they pay you. I'm doing it to show people that what we have to do to keep CTM going. Then do you have to sign up for Uber Eats and Grubhub? Yeah, I do. I'm signed up for Uber Eats and Favor, which is one we have here in Texas. 92,000 for Somalian, 94,000 for Doodle. On the left side of your screen, it is Doodle who qualified in to seed number 23 with a 1.22 million. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Doodle from the United States of America has an overall PB of 1.6 million. That is a top 70 score. It's a rollover. So certainly rollovers on the table in this one. Oh, Doodle up pretty high here. Long bar gets down. All right, players bringing their stacks back down, and I feel much, much better. Yikes. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Anyway, Doodle. What do you need to know about Doodle? Well, Doodle is a winner of a hopeful circuit. Did that back in March of 2023. In fact, was in back-to-back finals in that hopeful circuit with the previous month. This is Doodle's 4th appearance in the Masters event, 199 for Doodle. Why is my browser is just a mess? There we go. Well, fourth appearance overall in our Masters / Mega Masters, 3 times in Mega Masters. Yeah, all those 3 times were in Mega Masters. Wait, is this Doodle's? This isn't Doodle's Masters debut, is it? That can't be right. That's not right. Been in Mega Masters multiple times. Mega Masters. No, it's been in Masters in February. Okay, so Masters debut in February. Das Masters debut in February as well. So there you go. So second monthly Masters. Been in Mega Masters 3 times. 308 here for Doodle, 291 for Somalian. And you have seen Doodle playing right now in Mega Disasters. That is the second tier of the Mega Dasters tournament that's being run by Hana. Also plays in Classic Tetris League, Classic Tetris Biweekly. You've seen Doodle at CTWC Columbus. And various other Ohio regionals over the past couple of years. CTWC Philadelphia. The one-day tournament that Pumpy ran, the one-night tournament that Pumpy ran. Doodle won the first ever Classic Tetris Wars live in Cleveland, says Colin. Colin hooked into the Classic Tetris Wars whole situation. Anyway, on the right side, it's Somalian. Somalian qualified in with a 1.188, has a 1.63 million PB. That's a top 70 score as well. Somalian seed number 26. You've seen Somalian winning a couple of Hopeful Circuit, a couple of Challengers Circuit, won the CTWC Iberia Regional in 2022. Luis in the finals of that one, played in that again in 2025 and came in second. We're into 19, 504 for Doodle, 491 for Somalian. Somalian is a 3-time CTWC gold bracket player. Has made it into the round of 32 every single time. 4 times in Mega Masters, one of the few people to play in Mega Masters all 4 years. Also played in our Stupid Tetris Monthly No Next Box tournament. And in the one-day tournament by Pumpy. Classic Tetris level 12. 604 here for Doodle. Doodle. 530 for Somalian. We had to peel Somalian away from NFL football to play this. We really appreciate your sacrifice, Somalian. What a grand sacrifice. Somalian, big NFL fan. $642 for Doodle, $621 for Somalian. So Doodle right now with about a 50, 60,000 point lead, something like that. These are going to be best of 5s. There's a super kill screen implemented at level 39. Both players rollers with 1.6s, so certainly level 39 is a possibility. And Doodle is actually set up for a dirty. You can get the bar and getting a little droughted long bar down. Tetris down the middle, 4 rows up. Doodle gets the Tetris 787, Somalian 675. There's another Tetris for Doodle, 820. Dirty Tetris, Somalian column 10, 3 or 4 rows up. Tetris for Somalian, 1 row off the bottom, column 10. There's one Doodle. 921 for Doodle on 27, 15 lines to go until 29. Somalian Tetrising, still 1 row off the bottom into level 28, both of them. And Doodle with a 140,000 point lead here on 28. Players trying to take good stacks, trying to find another Tetris. Max out for Doodle into 29. That S piece immediately to the left, though, is a problem, and Doodle is going to top out. So the target for Somalian is A08. That is the target. Doodle immediately getting into 29, trying to get that S over to the left somewhere, and it hung, and that just led to kind of a spiral. So Somalian going to try to chase this down. Got over 100,000 points to try and do it. He's got a clean board. Tetris for Somalian, 932. Oh, that square does not get all the way to the left, but Somalian does get a Tetris. And now we are over, oh no, Somalian was really just about a Tetris away. It was a Tetris away, basically, but not able to get it. And is going to top out on 32, and Doodle is going to hang on and take game number 1. Cole, thanks for the raid party of 2. Appreciate that. Guys, we are $11.25 away from getting another 100 into the prize pool. We need $11.25 because Nate has pledged $100 if we get to 1,200. So where is that $11.25 going to come from? This is like classic bystander effect. Everyone's like, oh, someone will do it. Or maybe you guys don't care if we build the prize pool. I don't know. Maybe you're like, yeah, who cares? There'll still be Masters event. Players will keep showing up. I don't have to do anything. Classic bystander monthly. For real, Colin, for real. But someone's got to do it. $11.25. Who is going to be the hero? 3E0248. Both players are ready. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Game number 2. Doodles taking that creatine drink. I don't know. What are people drinking? Lemonade? Oh man, I could go for a lemonade right now. You know, I drink electrolyte packets from Element, LMNT. And they have recently come out with like cans of sparkling electrolyte drink. Colin with the 521. So that gets us a chunk of the way there. So we need, oh, and there it is. Chris Winter going to come in with a $20 contribution. That is going to do it. And we have fulfilled the incentive. And I'm sure Nate Dogg will come through with the pledge when he's got time. But thank you so much, Chris Winter. That is very generous. You and Colin are the hero. Chipping it all in. Joshy New Wave with the $10 super chat says video game controller evolves into a muscled version of itself under the word LVL plus. I don't know what you're saying, but I appreciate it. Video game controller evolves into a muscle version. That's a sticker. That is the description of the sticker on YouTube. I was like, what? So yeah, so we do have stickers, and in my unified chat, we do have, in my unified chat, it doesn't show the sticker, it just describes the sticker. And it says, video game controller evolves into a muscled version of itself under the word LVL plus. Yeah, it came across like, what does that mean? That's what that says. So let me take a look at it. Yeah, that is what it looks like. That is what it looks like. Thank you so much, Joshy New Wave. Or I don't know if it's Joshi or Yashi or Joshi or what, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I know that level is level, Vandy. I know that, Chen. I know. Guys, LVL stands for level. Just in case. Thank you, Chen. 287 for Doodle, 234 for Somalian. But anyway, yeah, that's what it said. I was like, why would you type that? I'm like, what? But that's how it comes through. The sticker. It doesn't show me the sticker. Anyway, 311 for Doodle, 259 for Somalian. Who, as far as I know, is not Somalian. I thought it was how you abbreviated Louisville, the way Kentuckians say it. They say it, yeah, Louisville. 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 I went down to Louisville, Kentucky. $352 for Somalian, $381 for Doodle. I lived for a time in a place called Billerica, Massachusetts. Billerica, kind of like the names Bill and Erica, right? You're supposed to say Billerica, but of course locals say Barica. Barica. sometimes, if they're really, if they're particularly articulate, they will say Burreka, Burreka, but a lot of times just Burreka. 477 for Doodle, 445 for Somalian. Doodle 509, Somalian 493. Find an L piece to tuck in there. Finds it. Tetris Doodle. Tetris Somalian. So Somalian ahead by 5 lines, back by 16,000, 15,000 points, something like that. We are approaching level 19. Speed's going to increase by 50%. $604 entry for Doodle into 19. Somalian at 594 on 20. Another Tetris Doodle. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for getting us to our incentive. I'm sure next time Nate is around, he'll kick it in. Tetris for Doodle, 707, 657 for Somalian. Chris says the gamepad's face gets cider as it levels up. I understand how it feels. So as you grow, you get sadder. Oh my goodness, that's very tragic. $743 for Somalian, $741 for Doodle. I feel like I get happier as I get older, but that could just be the dementia progressing. All right, Tetris for Doodle, $799, $801 for Somalian. Tetris Somalian, $834. So within about 24,000 points, still 6 lines ahead. 1 year closer to the old folks' home, says Colin. Seems good. $870 for Somalian. A couple Tetrises, another one, $901. Both players clean, though. So, Doodle going to make a gap here in the stack. A little bit of a drought, going to clear it away. Has to cover and recover just in time for the long bar. Tetris Doodle, 957. Yeah, I've never Doodle with Somalian with that overshift of the S piece to the left. That's going to slow him down a bit. Still 22 lines away from 29. This is down stackable. Oh no, that S to the left. That's going to be tough for Somalian. And no, that is going to be fatal for Somalian. He's going to top out at 945. Doodle is good in game number 2. He's got the max on 27. Yeah, I've never shared that, cynicism or resignation or whatever, even humorously about like getting older. And okay, everybody makes a joke here and there, but I've never really shared that ever because I've just always felt young. I feel like I keep growing and I don't know, wisdom, skill. I don't know. I feel like, I know it's weird, but I feel like it's good to be alive, actually. Tetris for Doodle, B48, 945 for Somalian. So, yeah, 945 top out Somalian, B49 Doodle. Getting the mullen, the 1.1. Quiz says right there with you. All right. Hopefully with me. 3B, 2D, 2E. 3B, 2D, 2E. Winner of this takes on SV Nestris. Three B, 2D, 2E. All right, good. Both players are ready. Somalia needs to win to stay in. Let's get going. Game number 3. Doodle hydrating. In 3-2-1 Tetris players. Doodle getting real-time advice right now. All right, put that J, put that L to the right. Let's drop that Z. Someone, live coaching happening right now. I know it. No, not at all. But yeah, I like when players have like a bunch of people, like they're in some Discord call with a bunch of people and they're like chatting during their stream. I like that. That is, and they're just like talking throughout the whole thing, like, you know, Sodium, or who else does that? They're just chatterboxing the whole way through. I like it. I don't think that would work for me. On the other hand, nothing really works for me Tetris wise. Miles. Oh, Miles has that. All right, Tetris for both 142, Doodle 163 for Somalia. Somalia's got to win to stay in. Alex, right? Alex. Nate has come through with the $100 pledge. Thank you so much, Nate. Really appreciate that. $279 Doodle, $278 Somalian. Alex is just talking to himself, says Colin. It's quite possible. Somehow in my YouTube feed yesterday came up a video. It was somebody who had to make like a documentary for a class. They made a NES Tetris documentary. It was like 10 minutes. And I don't remember who it is. People will probably know who it is just by my describing it. But it was 3 years ago. It was really right at the advent of rolling. It must have been made in 2021 or something like that. Or 22. And it was essentially, interviews of... it was about 10 minutes. It was interviews with Alex T and Doug back in 21 and 23. And it was so funny because they're so young. It was so interesting. I mean, Doug is essentially the same, but Alex obviously was a lot younger. then. So you kind of had that, you know, squeaker vibes, you know? So it was fun. It was really fun. I don't know whose it was, but I liked it. It just randomly showed up in my YouTube algo. It didn't have a lot of views. It had about 1,000 views. But I think it was like somebody was taking a documentary class or something, and they had to make one. Well, it was well done. 441 for Doodle, 438 for Somalian. Uh-oh. Doodle is chatting. We'll see what that means. Oh, no, that L, that is what that means. That is going to be a top out for Doodle. So, yeah, Throughty for that one. That means Somalian is going to pick up game 3. You made a 50-minute one for your senior project? Did I watch that? I'm trying to remember. Let's go back and look. You can link it here if you want people to see it. AE6596. Any Buccaneers in chat? Any Buccaneers? Guys, ASL? Any Buccaneer fans in chat? All right, if you root for an American football team, put the name of your team in chat. I will do that right now. All right, looks like both players are ready. AE6596, yes, let's go ahead and start them. Game number 4, Somalia looking to win this one to force a deciding game 5, Doodle. Does not want that to happen. Doodle wants to win right now. You love May, Drake May. He did look good. Again, the only football I'm watching now is the only thing I watch is just the Patriots condensed. Like there's a condensed game that the NFL puts out about, you know, every game, and I just watch the Patriots ones, and that's my only interaction with football right now. Is this the one I was talking about? Yeah, that's the one. Clearing lines. I don't know who made that, but it was good. All right, Doodle with a little bit of a diving board situation there with a couple of S's, so have to work around that. 52,000 for Doodle, 49 for Somalian. Colin says, I gave up fantasy football and it was the best feeling ever. I have never had the stamina to keep up with any fantasy sports. Like, I just don't care. Like, I tried, the first time I did fantasy sports was like back in college in the late 90s, early 2000s, and we did fantasy baseball, and I just stopped caring, you know? I just can't keep up with it. I don't want to sit there and make trades. And then, you know, I think what soured me on it, this is way back in the day. Like I was in some Yahoo fantasy baseball league back in like the late 90s. And like, I'm sure this is what people do now, but back then I was like making a lot of trades to make sure that I got a lot of starting pitchers pitching, right? Like I've made sure that I got a lot of starts. So I made a lot of trades. And like it was a league that I was invited to by a friend, but I didn't know anybody else in the league but my friend. And the commissioner of the league was really pissed. He's like, "You're making too many trades. It's not fair for you to make all these trades because you get more starts from starting pitchers than anybody." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but they could just do it." And he's like, "Well, you're not invited back next year." And I'm like, I don't care about this. It was the stupidest thing of the world. I was like, well, anybody could do what I'm doing. Like, don't you want to win? Like, it's your, like, set up the league so I can't make as many trades if that's what you want. Like, it's the dumbest thing. Yeah, it was really, really dumb. And then I just can't keep up with it the rest of the year, you know. So I'm just dead money in these leagues. Because I'll like, oh, I'll sign up, and I feel all ambitious at the time, or I'm usually doing it just because people are like, oh, we need another person to round out the league, so can you join? I'm like, okay. I kick in my $50 or whatever it is, and then I'm just dead money because I don't want to keep up with it because it's just so boring. 371 for Doodle, 354 for Somalian. All right, Somalian sets up for the delayed VIT. It was kind of the best place to place that piece, but clears away the VITs. Unfulfilled VITs. Jasmine, so sad. So unfulfilled. 384 from Somalian. There is a Tetris for Doodle, 419. Another one for Somalian. Lines tied. 12,000 point lead for Doodle. $464, Doodle, 430, Somalian. Somalian gets it. So yeah, not a big difference. It's about 10,000 point difference, one line apart. Oh, Hepta here with the wordplay happening. Tetris Somalian 501. Trying to stay efficient. Tetris Somalian 524. Happy birthday, Vandy. 524. Tetris Somalian 551. 518 for Doodle. There's a Tetris for Doodle into 19,542. So pretty tight here at 19. Tetris for Somalian 632, 573 for Doodle. I do wish there was like a Tetris fantasy league so you could like follow players throughout like the events throughout a certain year. That's okay. Don't worry. You're fine. You're fine. Accidental pause is totally fine. 610 for Doodle, 687 Somalian. Oh, early shift there for Somalian or something. This is all of a sudden and kind of danger zone, but you know, it's still 19. It's still workable. Gets that square over, another square over. Somalian clean and Tetris Sync 733. The recovery for Somalian after the misdrop. 726 for Doodle, 730 for Somalian. All right. Arctic spitting bars in chat. Somali, another misdrop there of the L piece. And a split single down on that right side. Tetris, Somalian, dirty, 4 rows up amidst garbage. Tetris, Doodle, 853. We're on level 25, lines tied. Somalian still fighting. And Somalian chatting. So you know what that means. Somalian gonna top out. That means Doodle, you are good. In game number 4, you've won the match 3 games to 1. Somalian, you're a fine man. Solid, virtuous individual, responsible. Alas, you have lost the Masters event for this month. Hope to see you again in subsequent months. We'll report 3-1. At least you go, oh. There you go, the max for Doodle. You can disable pause. It's fine. It's, again, that is where like accidental pause, quickly unpause is fine, but people are doing it on purpose. Like back in the old days, there was somebody who wanted to play with pauses. Like, now is pause allowed in this? Because like, I like to take a moment to think about where my next piece goes. I'm like, no. It's of the very essence of competitive Tetris. The way it's currently constructed is to not allow a pause. But someone did want to do that very early days, and I had to keep saying no. Yeah, of course you can disable pause, of course. All right, well, we're going to move Doodle around. Get rid of Somalian. Somalian, goodbye. Seed number 26, you're out. Seed number 23, hello. Oh, look at that, the double Doodle. No one expects the double Doodle. All right, we'll refresh the Doodle. Refresh the SV. What is that, 10? Refresh 10. All right, just gonna wait. SV. Let me clean up this whole thing. All right, just gonna run an ad real quick, and I'll be right back. I just gotta, well, I'll be honest. I gotta use the loo. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna use the loo. All right, I shall return. All right, well, SV, you're playing. All right, there you go. Just going to refresh them both, make sure they're lined up. Doopity doop. And was it 20? 23. All right, fix these cameras up. Players, I'm going to drop pieces in the chat. I wonder how much controller we can get in. This would be the ideal situation, as we get like low-key. SV has like ideal camera because I got plenty of room to get like controller and whatever, but you can't necessarily get that for everybody. So let's see how much controller we can get from our other player here. That's a good amount. But I like to have the players roughly the same, you know, size and proportion on the screen. Better. If one doesn't, the other does, then all right. But this is good. This is pretty good. All right, the pieces are here. B51DA2. Thank you, Zook, for the pin. Appreciate that. Colin says, I changed the nickname of my bathroom from the John to the gym so I can tell everyone I go to the gym every morning before work. Like, boy, I really hurt myself at the gym this morning. All right, B51DA2. And as soon as we get it ready from both players, we will begin. All right, SV versus Doodle, round 2. The winner goes to the round of 16 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. On the left side of your screen, seed number 10 from the UK, qualled in with a 1.41 million. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. It is SV. Got an overall PB of 5.98 million according to the robot. That is a top 15 PB, or it would be on that leaderboard if it were on the leaderboard, but it's not. It's still got leaderboard still got him at like a 2.98 or something, or a 2 point something. Anyway, SV ranked the number what is the number 13th ranked player on the most recent Premier Poll, October. And you can find the full rankings for players in open and DAS competition over at premierpoll.com, Premier with an E at the end. SV is a Masters winner. That was back in January of 23 was the winner of the CT UK Championship in 2024. Has played in that event multiple times, as you would expect. 2025 was the runner-up to Evesy, so back-to-back finals in that event for SV. Has played in CTWC Gold Bracket 3 times. And now get this. Who has SV gone out to 3 times? 2 times Dog playing Tetris, 1 time Alex T. So it pretty much takes a world champion to knock SV out of CTWC. Also won a Challenger circuit back in October of 24. That was the second to last Challenger circuit. Won one of those classic Tetris pals back in the day in 2022 against Gerald Freeman. Also seen SV in Austria. Look at this. Look at these S's on Doodle stack, piling high there in Aspire. You also saw SV at CTWC Das in Germany this year. Went out to Pixelandi. And SV also a 4-time Mega Masters player. One of the few players who have played in all 4 of them. The first year of Mega Masters in 22, that was only a 32-player tournament. So that does restrict the number of people who could have played in all 4 of them. Went out to Dog twice in those events too. So yeah, Dog is kind of the nemesis there. But yeah, SV top 8 this year in Mega Masters. Went out to the eventual winner, Dog, of that one. On the right side, Doodle. 345 for Doodle, 421 for SV. Doodle seed number 23. Defeated Somalian captain in round 1 to get here to round 2. Doodle qualified in with a 1.22 million. It's got a 1.60 PB. That's a top 70 score on the PB leaderboard. Doodle, you've seen at various live events, mostly centering around Ohio. We played in CTWC Columbus. That's a WPL event. Also won Classic Tetris Wars Live. That was in Ohio. Did that in 2023. That was the first one. It's played in Mega Masters 3 times. And this is Doodle's second appearance in the monthly Masters event. Doodle played in CTWC in 2023. In 2024. I've also seen him in CTWC Philadelphia. Oh, also played in 2025. Played in the one night and the one day tournaments for Pumpy as well. 679 for SV. This is huge. Into level 20 now at 705. Tetris for Doodle, 583 on 19. That's a big pace too. Tetris for Doodle, 610, 730 for SV. Oh, I have SV. Oh, God. I have SV with the wrong... I'll have to fix that. My apologies, guys. Guys, we're going to claim SV as an American. We're not good enough at Tetris. We need to co-opt your... We need to co-opt your... one of your best players. We'll get that fixed. 836 for SV. Sorry about that. 718 for Doodle. Thankfully, I still have that actually right up right now, so I can fix it immediately, very quickly. There you go. All fixed. 896 for SV. Got to fire that intern. Yeah, thanks. Sorry about that, guys. $957 for SV on 24 because, of course, SV known for big pacing in these tournaments. So this is a tough round 2 draw for Doodle going up against a former Masters winner. But hanging in there, 854 for Doodle, 995 for SV. And he's got the max out on 25, actually singled out. So if he had Tetrised out, kind of would have happened like into 26, but the max out still happened on 25. So a 25 max out for SV, 953 for Doodle on 26. Big pace here. I mean, this is a good pace for Doodle. Now, of course, once we hit 29, the speed is going to double. The players will have 100 lines until that level 39 super kill screen kicks in. Doodle has got the max out now on 27. SV with the 1.1 on 27. Tetris for SV. Potentially 3 Tetrises still on 28. There's one. And another one would give him the 1.2. And there it is, a 1.2 into 29 for SV. Doodle with the 1.1. Doodle trying to find that bar. Tetris for Doodle into 29 at B62 takes it down with a triple immediately. SV chunking this down as well on level 30. All right, Doodle B93 starting to catch up a little bit. SV C59. SV is set up for a Tetris. Gets a triple, resets back up. Tetris for SV D09. Doodle back by a little over 100,000 points. At J to the left is going to be tough to survive, and no, that is going to do it. But a 1.2 for Doodle. Good score through 32. SV, though, too strong and takes game number 1. Yeah, it was a 1.4 for SV. Now, Doodle's PB 1.6. And, of course, SV has higher than that into 39, certainly many times. Just PB 3 times. That's all you got to do, Doodle. That J-Tuck. Oh, you'd have to take a look at that. Anyway, I got to go to Target after this and get that lemonade element sparkling drink. That's what I got to go to Target and get that. That is like the greatest thing. I wish they would caffeinate it. Holy crap. It'll be salty and caffeinated. Wow. But nope. I wonder if I could add caffeine powder to it. Have the perfect drink. All right, C476D3. The Ice Starburst one is good. Yeah, I've had that. That is good. C476 D3, both players ready. Game number 2 is coming to you. Hell yeah. That's my I'm tired. I'm too tired to do my Grand Designs impression. You got to be really up to do that impression, right? You got to be really up to do it. No, SV with that overhang. I'm always up. Oh. How many bring a book when taking a flight? Quite a chance you don't read it. Yeah, I mean, if you're not super motivated to read it, then don't bring it, but that's kind of my default. Tetris for SV, 68,069 for Doodle. So I do kind of prefer the Kindle, because here's what I do on the plane, right? I like to read, and I like to read on the plane. So here's what I do. I've got the Kindle, and the Kindle has a cover, right? And what I do is I hang the Kindle, like usually you can find a place to sort of tuck the cover on the back of the seat in front of you so that the Kindle screen hangs facing you. And then I have this remote control Bluetooth Kindle page turner. So I can just like stare straight ahead, keep the page turner in my hand, and the pages just turn like right in front of me. And then I can just put like a blanket over and just zone out. And it's such a relaxing way to take a flight and just get through a lot of pages. Like, that is my ideal way to take a flight. You use those for skipping Spotify songs on the treadmill? It's just you can just cocoon. You'd watch Netflix. Yeah, I mean, you can watch Netflix whenever you want. Like, I mean, it's fine. It's nothing wrong. I will occasionally download, like if I get sick of the book or don't want to read anymore or just don't feel like it, I will, download stuff offline on YouTube if you have premium. That's a good way to go, like long form stuff that you want to consume on YouTube. That's a good way to do that. But I also have I always have audiobooks and podcasts and stuff preloaded as well. And I have like a 1 terabyte iPhone, so it's like I have a ton of like lectures and audiobooks already on there by default anyway in the music app. So 235 for SV, 244 for Doodle. How many pages was the longest book you've ever read? I don't know. Like 1,200 something. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of long books out there. I mean, I've read a lot of them. My goal this year, which I'm not going to do, is to get through Count of Monte Cristo, but I never did. There's now a 2 terabyte iPhone. Wait, is that the one I have? Maybe that's what I have. I don't know. You were debating on getting a Kindle for so long? Yeah, I mean, if you're a reader, it's good. You can, and if you're okay with the Amazon ecosystem, I mean, I have a lot of stuff on there. Kindle Unlimited is good. If there's some niche stuff you like. Tetris for SV, 417, 391 for Doodle. I think I'm on my 4th or 5th Kindle now. I have the color one. It's okay. Like, it's very rare that a book that I read needs color, but I just got it just so I'd have it. But I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. I'd recommend the Paperwhite is totally fine. It's the iPhone 17 Pro. No, I'm still on the 13 Pro. I'm fine with my iPhone. I'm like, it's fine. $509 for SV, $482 for Doodle. Oh, yes, that's the other thing. Wallband. Yeah, you mentioned that S-Day in chat. You can, if you're most local, and I assume you're in a major or reasonably sized town or city, Wallband, your local library, you can check out a ton of stuff that gets delivered to your Kindle for, for free. So it's worth it just for that. Just for that. Like usually they'll have they'll have digital things that you can get for free. That's totally worth it. Tetris for Doodle, $559, $582 entry into 19 for SV as well. There's so much stuff at the library you can get, like Canopy, Canopy, Hoopla, these are all like streamers. There's a ton of stuff on there. $663 for SV, $645 for Doodle. Level 21. By the way, if you're in Texas, here's a little hack, right? So if you're somebody who uses Canopy, it's probably like 2 people in chat that would even care about this. If you use Canopy from your local library and you're in Texas, anyone in Texas can become a member of the Houston Public Library for free. And that gives you access to their Canopy instance as well, which has an expanded selection, and you get more downloads, like more views, because you're limited. But you could also become for free a member of Houston and get more. $735 for SV, $764 for Doodle. N-Dog says, let's get to 1,400. Well, all right, N-Dog pledging another $100 if we can get ourselves to 1,400. That's $97 to go. It's going to be tough. This is the last match of the day. But if we can get to 14, N-Dog will kick in 100. Thank you, N-Dog. Appreciate that. Tetris for Doodle. So whatever you got, if you were planning on contributing to the prize pool, $5, $10, whatever, now's a good time to do it, because essentially it's going to be matched by Nate if we can get to 1,400. Tetris for SV, Doodle 901, so pretty close. Tetris for Doodle in the lead. Basically the same line count. Nate Dogg, Snoop's brother-in-law. Now there is a Nate Dogg rapper, right? Like old school rapper. That was before Snoop Dogg. 986 into 29 for SV's got the max out now. Doodle 5 lines away from that 29 entry. It's a little bit high, but still dealable with. We'll see. Oh no, it's going to be a tough board for Doodle. That is going to be a top board for Doodle, and SV is good in game number 2. What's the difference between rap and hip hop? Technically, actually, rap is a style, a musical genre, and hip hop is an overall lifestyle that encompasses music and fashion and dance and other forms of whatever. Yeah, hip hop is a culture, rap is a musical genre. Okay, new pieces, players. DC5549, DC5549. But people do use the word hip hop to sometimes mean music, and even the musicians do it. But if you go and look it all up, cultural anthropologists will generally make that distinction. I'm probably not the person to ask this question, but you know, that's what I understand. And if you are an expert in this, then I defer to you. All right, DC 5549, DC 5549. All right, game number 3, SV versus Doodle. Doodle needs to win to stay in. Trying to get to that round of 16. Let's go 3, 2, 1, Tetris. You decided to leave the physical book at home. Thanks, y'all. Here's the other thing good about being on the Kindle platform. I mean, listen, you can do this on other platforms as well. You know, there's a Kobo, open source, whatever, and you can be on... you know, you can do this Barnes & Noble. But, like, on my phone, you know how you have those bottom 3 apps on the iPhone that are, like, your main apps? My main apps are the phone, texting, my text, my to-do lists, like my Todoist, that's to-do, and then the Kindle. So the Kindle's a really good, if you have the Kindle app on your phone or whatever your e-reader app is, I don't care. Whatever it is, that is a very good kind of default thing to do on your phone instead of scrolling apps. So, like, if you just make that Kindle or e-reader app the first thing that you do, like when you're like sitting online at the grocery store and you want to just kind of kill time, or you're just, you know, waiting at the DMV, like, just have that app on there, and, like, that's the first thing you go to. Just train yourself to be that's the first thing you go to. And, like, always have a book going. And just go to that and put it, like, the easiest place for your thumb to go. Make that app the one. So, yeah, that's one of the 4 big apps at the bottom. Phone, text, Todoist, and Kindle. Whatever happened to just waiting? Cute Pup Jesus, I'm talking to the people who are trying to wean themselves off social media and mindless scrolling, okay? They need a way to, sublimate that, or they need some sort of substitution. But yeah, just use that e-reader. That's your default time waster app, right? 191 for SV, 132 for Doodle. Cute Pup Jesus says cold turkey. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, yeah, okay. One of the best things I do, like, I normally take my phone into the shower and play audiobooks. But honestly, when I don't take anything into the shower and I don't listen, that's when I have some of my best ideas. There's really something to just being in the shower and no input. So, you know, I get it. But there are people that are just going to be dopamine addicts and need to do something. And so I think having the book is better than TikTok. But yeah, as somebody who, you know, is aspiring to create something and, you know, has certain ambitions and it requires thought to achieve them, not listening to audiobooks in the shower is the best. But I do like to do it. 341 for Doodle, 401 for SV. If you don't listen to stuff in the shower, you will win arguments in your head. But actually, that's better, Colin. Well, depending on what the arguments are. If they're like intellectual arguments, that's good. If it's just, you know, vindictive, like, I should have said this, I should have said that, and I really would have gotten the bastard. You don't need to relitigate that stuff. But, yeah. All right, there's a dirty Tetris from Doodle, 393. 495 from SV. You're welcome, grandson. Somalian. I sometimes have good ideas in the shower, but by the time I'm out of the bathroom, my mind has switched to something else. Well, that is just, you just have to, you know, use your power to hang on to your thoughts and to direct your mind to at least write them down, at least have a place to write them down. Say, I've got to remember this. A tape recorder. Colin wants Pseudo Canard to take a tape recorder into the shower. If you took your phone into your shower, you could write your thoughts down in your note-taking app. Well, one thing you can do is, what's that app? This is the one that I use. It's like it transcribes your voice. Otter.ai. 679 for SV, 555 for Doodle, 703 for SV. Level 19. So here's one of the other things you can do. If you're somebody, if you need to talk something out, like, I don't know, sometimes I do my best thinking out loud, but where are you going to do it? Like, you can do it at home, but if people are home, it's kind of, maybe you don't want people to hear it. So you get the Otter.ai app. You put in your headphones and, you know, with your microphone and all that, and you go take a walk, and then you just talk out whatever you need to talk out, take notes. You know, Otter AI is taking notes for you, and then you can sort of brainstorm or whatever you need to do out loud, but people think you're just talking on your phone while you're walking around outside. So, you know, you got to walk and you get to talk things out. So I do that sometimes. 698 for Doodle, 897 for SV. Is this a Vandy podcast or a Tetris stream? Like, yeah, I mean, what has it always been? Captain says, I raw dog thoughts and forget them 2 seconds later. Well, yeah, that's where you got to take control. You got to take the reins of your mind. Okay. 928 for SV on 23, 757 for Doodle. But yeah, Otter.ai, that's a good app to do that. Basically free. And then you can just like, oh, you know, you can brainstorm or talk through something difficult. And people think you're talking on the phone. 994 for SV on 25. I missed the line spin. Oh my goodness. Trying to give you guys all this great advice and I'm missing line spins. Rip. Priorities, right? Tetris SV max out on 26. All right, Doodle trying to bring this down. Oh no, that J piece to the left, that is going to be tough. Halakandle, thanks for the nice words. I appreciate that. Doodle going to top out at 847 on 26, and SV having himself a game. That would have been tough to play against no matter what, even if Doodle had survived. So, GG. Hallie Candle, that's way too nice praise for me, believe me. Doodle is so tired. Well, I'm sorry. But I don't know. You played great. You made it here to round 2. This is your second appearance in the monthly Masters. You went up against a Masters champion, and you played great. So no shame there. Keep your head held up high. Hallicandle D39 for SV. Hallicandle on YouTube says, I need a Vandy app. Listening to him when I'm bored. Best thing ever. One of the few people on the internet and only American who speaks great English. My word. I feel so honored. I mean, I don't know if I agree that level of praise, but it's very kind of you to say nice things to me. So thank you. All right, SV going to top out D93. Doodle is not going to make it through, but SV will. Doodle, you played great. Hope to see you again in future months. SV, you will be moving on. You're going to face someone in round 2, and that is going to be... Who's that going to be? Dan V. So it's all UK all the time. Dan V versus SV. What a matchup. We have never seen a matchup like that before. SV versus Doodle. So congratulations. Well, folks, that is going to do it for me. We didn't quite get to our goal. Nate, thank you for incentivizing some contributions to the prize pool. I really appreciate that. So thank you, Chen. Appreciate you. So where does that leave us? Well, we're going to take a look. First off, we'll take a look at the supporters. I want to make that scroll a little bit more slowly, actually. New followers, 59DT. YouTube memberships, Ravioli, Super Chats from N-Dog. That was a big one. Thank you, N-Dog. We had raids from Paldas, Tetris, and Cold Bucket 2. Thank you guys very much. Again, Nate, you were very, very generous. Thank you for the $100 Super Chat. Also, your contributions to the prize pool. Huge. It's going to get us up to 1333. We had contributions this stream from Hilbert. Oh, did I not say Hilbert's out loud? Hilbert. $30 contribution to the prize pool. Nate with that $100. Chris and Colin, 20 and 521 respectively. Cat My Dogs, thank you for the 10. Tom J, 20. Sailor Ginseng, 20. VSA, 20. I think we're going back to yesterday, but that's okay. Whoops, Madelsberger, Arbaro, Scott Gray, The Goats, and again, Nate with the contributions over at Das Masters as well. Patrons, thank you so much for your contributions. You're keeping this channel going. Really, really appreciate the support that you're doing. You know, this is what enables us to double the size of the Masters event. It was a huge move. I think it's working out great. Love to see the variety of players now that we didn't really get to see before. And Patreon and the other ways to support us, those are instrumental and allowing us to do that, plus adding Das Masters. Going to try to launch the tournaments for qualifying tonight, the STM and the No Cap November. So thank you, patrons. Scott Gray, Jay in the Window, Ken Ataki, Corporal Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cat, Java T, Jason, Sonny, Junior, and everybody else. We're only going to have one thing tomorrow. It's going to be a solo match. We got the AC and Mold people here tomorrow. So couldn't really sign up for too much. And this is already on the thing. So yeah, tomorrow it's going to be who? Yeah, Leo versus what's his face? Adam. That game's already at 1-0, so we're going to finish that out. And that is all we're going to have tomorrow. So thanks everybody for hanging out. Appreciate y'all. And we will see you tomorrow. Hallie Candle, thank you again. Appreciate the kind words. Have a great rest of your day and a great tomorrow and life. Take care, YouTube. Bye-bye. And yeah, thanks again. Hello, Kingsman. What's going on? Matt Chirino.